Ladies and gentlemen, we'd like to welcome you to the AFC. We're talking about this story because this is the subject. That beautiful baby boy right there who could not speak for himself, nor could he defend himself against the tyranny of his caretakers. And what's even more sad is that this narrative that we talk about, mom's boyfriend, is all so common, and it's all too common that I do these stories and it's really getting to the point to where we almost can't tell them apart anymore. It's a really, really sad thing. And in this story, you have a situation where it seems like mom liked this thug, like this boyfriend, more than she liked her own child. That is my personal opinion, but I think that once I give you guys some details about this story, maybe you might kind of see things the way that I do, okay? Now, there is a mother who did not seek medical attention, did not seek medical help for her infant son as he bled to death following multiple beatings by her boyfriend. Now, that is according to the police. Hashtag not my words. So get mad at the police. I'm sure y'all out there trying to defund the police at this point. So continue to keep getting mad at them. Don't get mad at me just for telling you guys about what they have reported, okay? Now, the mother in this case, let me see if I can get her face on this screen so you can see exactly who I'm talking about. Give me a moment, because there's a lot to unpack here. The biological mother of this child, her name is Andrea Lipton, who is 28 years old, and she was arrested and charged with second-degree manslaughter on Tuesday, about 1 month after her son, who was on the right-hand side of the screen. We'll talk about the other boy here in a moment. That little boy's name is Kei'mere Marshall, who was 3 years old, and he has passed away. Again, that is Kei'mere Marshall. The mother's name is Andrea Lipton, 28 years old, so she had her son when she was about 25 years old. We have a few hashtags, and I think that those hashtags are going to apply thoroughly all up and through this story. Okay? If you guys know if any AFC hashtags, make sure you post them in the chat because I'm sure they're going to apply tonight. Okay? Now, Andrea Lipton's arrest came 2 days after authorities arrested her live-in boyfriend, 32-year-old Anthony Love. Let me see if I can get this woman's raggedy boyfriend on the screen. I'm trying my best not to curse because I like the fact that we're getting ads on our videos now, which is awesome because we haven't had ads on this channel in a long time, just because we keep it so real over here that it's really hard for people to digest what we talk about. That guy on the screen, his name is Anthony Love. He is 32 years old, and he's been arrested on second-degree murder charges and first-degree manslaughter charges in this case. That is mom's boyfriend. If you also look at I guess that's the right side of his face, he has a tattoo across his face. And I've told you guys, I personally believe that people who have tattoos on their face are just not good people. If you have tattoos across the side of your face, in the middle of your face, across the top of your face, on your cheek, now on the neck, maybe I can understand some neck tattoos, maybe some of that stuff is acceptable, but it's just a personal opinion, okay? Don't take it too personally if it applies to you. But I personally think that people who have face tattoos just are not solid in the head, okay? Anthony Love, her boyfriend, who is currently on parole from a robbery conviction, was accused of physically abusing Kei'mere Marshall while acting as the boy's caregiver. You know what? I'm not going to even repeat my hashtags because I might get flagged for repeating my own hashtags. Hashtag when you date thugs, you date death. Hashtag TTO. Hashtag TTT. Hashtag babies for benefits. Hashtag thug is. Stupid is as stupid thugs. Hashtag babies lives matter. What other hashtags do we have? We have a lot of them, and I think they're all going to apply in this one story. Okay? This man, as you guys can see, let's back it up. Sorry, I know it's buffering. Just deal with it, if you would, please. This man is currently on parole for a robbery conviction. Is that not indicative of a thug? I say, yes, it is. If you are on parole, that indicates that you are a thug. You are a non-law abiding citizen. Again, I'm not saying that all thugs or all people who are on parole or all people who have been in jail are horrible individuals, but what I am saying is that it increases the probability. I don't know if you guys know what probability means, but most of you do. I know the AFC does. The probability that you probably are a terrible person is a lot higher than if you weren't a jailbird. You dig? On parole. And this woman chose this man knowing that he was a jailbird. Or for the people who say, well, maybe she didn't know. Well, you know what? That's no longer going to be an excuse. We are no longer going to give custodial parents, whoever they are, whether it's a mother or a father, excuses for not doing something as simple as a background check. Have I not been talking about doing background checks almost 3 years now, I believe? I think I started talking about doing background checks around the Anaya Day Garrett case. You guys remember that? Out of Cuyahoga County, Ohio? I've been talking about people needing to do background checks and get life insurance for that long. There's no excuse in 2020 for people not to do background checks. Therefore, if you know and find something on that person's record, then I think that should also show that you should be held accountable for who you put around your children. Does everybody understand that concept, or did somebody get confused about what I just said? I think that's pretty self-explanatory. Let's move forward. Andrea Lipton, and Anthony Love were in a domestic relationship and both lived with Kei'mere at the Avenue C residence, according to Schumann. Now, since he's on parole, I'm going to assume that he lived with the mom. They just don't want to say it that way. But I'm going to tell you, this thug, that guy, lived in this woman's house with her kid. Because she got this house because she has some type of support that she gets from the government to be able to house this kid. Right? Babies for benefits, Section 8, food stamps, child support, car vouchers, all of these things that the government provides women who have kids. Right? Looks like she got tattoos on the face, or maybe she's just got a jacked up looking face. I don't know. Anthony Love, the boyfriend, is accused of physically abusing Kei'mere, the 3-year-old boy, while acting as the boy's caregiver between July the 1st and July the 11th. That's a whole 11 days. What? Let me see, back it up. What was this woman? That's the mother. What was this mother doing for 11 days that she needed to leave her child with her boyfriend and didn't give the father an opportunity to be a father to his own kid? It's funny how I always say this, that in a lot of these cases, that these mothers will let anybody and everybody watch their kids except for the biological father, the man that she laid down with, accepted the seed from to create this kid. He can't see the kid. He has to jump through all of these hoops and hurdles to be able to see his kid. But a dude who's on parole, who just got out of jail, has unfettered access, unmolested access to this kid all day, every day. He can see this kid as much as he wants, pay no child support as much as he wants, eat up this kid's snacks based on the fact that the government gives them a stipend as much as he wants. But the biological father has to go pay for attorneys just to be able to get visitation rights? That's insane. They should get split custody out the gate. Flat out. That's ridiculous. 11 days. Let's move on. Baby Kei'mere, again, he's 3 years old, suffered numerous physical injuries, including a ruptured spleen and pelvic fractures that went untreated by medical professionals. This boy was beaten so bad that he had a ruptured spleen and hip fractures, pelvic fractures, probably from either being beat or kicked or thrown down. That's ridiculous. And the fact that it went untreated also is indicative that the mom saw something and chose not to say a thing. Yes, the mom gambled on a thug and lost. Police say that they received a report about a child not breathing in Rochester, New York in the early morning hours of July the 11th. This was just last month. So if you guys have not heard about this story, if this is your first time hearing about this story, let us know in the chat. By the way, let's take a pause for the cause. We have a goal of 200 thumbs up. If you would, click that thumbs up. It will help share our stream and let other people know that we're live, because we're having some issues trying to get out the notification. So I'm sorry about that. But you guys can't make a difference by just clicking that thumbs up, okay? So please, all together at one time, please click that thumbs up if you would. It'll help me out a lot. Now, upon arrival, police officers found the child unconscious on the floor. He was given CPR and rushed to a local hospital where he died 3 days later. After 3 days in the pediatric intensive care unit at the Golisano Children's Hospital at Strong, Kei'mere died. The boy never regained consciousness and was on life support during his full hospital stay. Now, court documents obtained by the news agency allege that Marshall's injuries, keep in mind, he's 3 years old. His injuries prevented him from walking and obviously required medical attention. That means the mother flat out didn't give a S. She didn't give a F. All of the cuss words that I want to use, I'm going to just try my best not to use them tonight. The mom did not care. Look at that boy. He's 3 years old. Clearly he can walk. So how is it that at 3 years old, his injuries were so bad that it prevented him from being able to walk? And you didn't notice that as a mother? How ironic. The boy subsequently suffered blood loss as a result of his injuries and went into cardiac arrest, according to court documents. The mother, Andrea Lipton, allegedly failed to seek medical treatment for her son, knowing that he was in pain and in need of said medical treatment for these injuries. Those injuries ultimately led to Kei'mere Marshall's death. The press release states, the precise circumstances of the little boy's death are not yet known, but there were many red flags that showed up how Marshall was not safe in this home. How many times have we talked about red flags and yellow flags? I talk about that a lot. And red flags are the type of things that you should obviously see and are obvious signs of danger. And if you ignore those, then you're just flat out being negligent. I was going to say the other word. You're flat out being negligent if you ignore red flags as a parent, okay? Andrea Lipton has another son with her former partner, Elliot Morris. Why do they call him partner? It's a dude that she just was screwing, was having unprotected sex with. Her other baby daddy. She has another son by a man named Elliot Morris, who filed a petition with Child Protective Services after his son, by the name of Blessing, suffered a black eye while he was living with the mom. Let's talk about this for a moment. Let me go and show that picture. I think I still have it here. This picture right here is the other boy who was in that household who also suffered abuse, and I believe that that's Elliot Morris's son right there. He suffered a black eye. His dad found out about it, filed a petition, and got his son out of that house. That boy, to me, looks like he's about 5 years old. So what does this mean? Yes, it's disgusting. It's sexually disgusting to think of how many people are squirting inside of that nasty broad right there. Gross. It makes me want to throw up. Within a 5-year span, this woman has been with at least 3 men, at least, that you can prove that she was sexually active with unprotected. In less than 5 years. That many men have been around your kid. That's gross. But Elliot Morris was able to remove his son from Lipton's home, but he said that he was worried about Kei'mere Marshall and wished that he could have done more to protect that boy's safety. So here's what sucks. First of all, where is Kei'mere's biological father? We don't know. We haven't heard from him. But we did hear from her other baby daddy, and he said that he was worried about that boy's safety, and he wished that he could have been able to take him out of that house too. That boy right here might have been safer in the hands of her other baby daddy than in the hands of the mom and her boyfriend. We don't even know where the hell his dad is. That is so sad, the fact that if they had something like a Naya's Law, where if that law would have been passed and this man would have felt like that child was in danger, he could have taken that kid and avoided kidnapping charges to protect that kid. I wish that law were in place so we could start protecting these babies, right? Clearly she didn't want to be a mom. She left this kid with her boyfriend for 11 days, according to what the report says. 11 days. What do you guys, if y'all look at her face, what do y'all think that she was doing for 11 days? Matter of fact, I want y'all to think about this. Why I say she's nasty? She left her child with her boyfriend. So what in the hell was she doing? Y'all think that she was out working somewhere? I seriously doubt it. 2 kids, 28 years old. I seriously doubt it. Seriously doubt it. Probably laying up on under some other man. But I digress. It's devastating. My son is so young and his brother is gone, Morris told the media. He asked about him and it's hard to tell him what actually happened. Both Lipton and Love are being held in Monroe County Jail. No bail has been set for Love, while the mother, Andrea Lipton's bail, is set at $10,000 cash or a $20,000 bond, the news agency reports. Now, Andrea Lipton is scheduled to be back in court as of yesterday at 1:30, so maybe they already had her court date. In a statement obtained by the news station, Kei'mere Marshall's family wants Marshall to be remembered as a happy child who laughed often. He loved Paw Patrol and enjoyed doing a ninja spin move that he created while watching the Power Rangers. And I'm a huge fan of the Power Rangers. That's a typical kid, a loving kid, and that kid deserves so much better. And here, let me ask this before we move on to the news videos. How does she get a $10,000 bond when she knew that this thug boyfriend on parole was beating up her kid? The mom is responsible for putting her child in this thug zoo, and the thug lion mauled her kid. How is the mom not more responsible for putting her child in danger? Heller? I think the mom should get the exact same charges as her boyfriend. Stupid is as stupid thug. A thug does what a thug does, and the mom gambled on a thug and she lost, and because she gambled, the mom needs to suffer the consequences just as much as the boyfriend does. Let me give you guys the fair usage, And let's go ahead and move on with our video coverage. Let's get it. Federal law allows citizens to reproduce, distribute, or exhibit portions of copyrighted motion pictures, videotapes, or video discs under certain circumstances without the authorization of the copyright holder. This is called fair use. It is allowed for purposes of criticism, news reporting, teaching, and parody, which doesn't infringe of copyright under 17 U.S.C. 107. Fair use. All right. Let's go ahead and move on with our news. Did I get my news videos up? Let me make sure. I did not. Maybe they didn't pull over. Let me get them up real quick. And while you guys are watching, if y'all would, don't forget to click that thumbs up. Okay? Please, please click that thumbs up.
Rochester police say this mother failed to seek medical help as her 3-year-old child was dying.
Police is saying that the damages that have been done to his body can only be done from a horrific car accident.
Good evening, I'm Don Alhart. Those comments came outside of court today from the niece of the man who was charged earlier this week with murder. A 13-WAM investigation has revealed Child Protective Services initiated an investigation at the house during the spring, and 3 months later, Kei'mere Marshall was dead. Jane Flash joining us now with new details of what happened inside that home leading up to his death. Jane?
Don, his family called him Moochie. Moochie lived with his mother and her boyfriend. We're learning some, but not all, of the details of what happened on July 11th. On July 11th, Anthony Love was home watching Kei'mere Marshall, a little boy the family called Moochie. Love was in a relationship with Moochie's mom.
Things are not adding up. My uncle knows, and she knows.
This woman asked us not to use her name, but says she has had regular contact with her uncle. Family members say Andrea Lipton returned from her job at Burger King to find Moochie unconscious. Police say she delayed seeking help. By the time an ambulance arrived, Moochie was no longer breathing.
She should be, charged because you did nothing about it to help him, save him, or anything.
Morris says he removed his son Blessing from the household back in April after Blessing showed up with a black eye. Blessing and Moochie are half-brothers with the same mother. 13WAM News has learned also in April, Child Protective Services became involved after Moochie developed unexplained bruises. His mother allegedly telling caseworkers he fell down the stairs. Family says it's the same explanation she used after his death, though it could not account for the severity of his injuries.
I would ask him what really happened. Like, what happened? Okay, the baby, he fell down the stairs, and then what? As far as him hurting the baby, I can't make that judgment.
I was worried about Moochie, especially after having to remove my son from the situation and not being able to remove Moochie because he's not my son. That plays on me to this day.
Family wants people to remember Moochie as a happy child who laughed often, loved Paw Patrol, doing a ninja spin move with the Power Rangers, eating oatmeal with his grandpa, and taking selfies with his godmother. Now, County Executive Adam Bello says there is an internal assessment into what happened with that first complaint underway and whether the case was prematurely closed, but by law, he cannot comment any further. Moochie's family wants to thank the police and the community for their support. They also wanted us to share with everyone his favorite song. You can find the link to that on 13WAM.com. Don.
Thank you, Jane.
Accused of killing a 3-year-old child in July, pleaded not guilty today.
News 10 NBC's Jennifer Mobilia joins us now with new information we learned in court. Jen?
Brett and Deanna, the allegations of this case are very disturbing. The district attorney's office isn't saying much because this is still an open and active investigation. But here's what we know so far. 32-year-old Anthony Love, who was on parole for a robbery conviction, was charged yesterday with murder and manslaughter in the death of 3-year-old Kei'mere Marshall. Police say on July 11th, Marshall was not breathing when they found him around 1:30 a.m. on Avenue C. CPR was performed and the child was taken to the hospital. At the hospital, officials discovered Marshall had multiple injuries, including a ruptured spleen and pelvic fractures that had gone untreated. Due to the seriousness of his injuries, the little boy suffered blood loss and went into cardiac arrest and died on July 14th. Investigators say from July 1st through July 11th, the child was the victim of physical abuse. The DA's office won't comment on the relationship between Marshall and Love, other than to say they lived in the same home and Love is not the child's father. Again, while the DA's office isn't able to comment on the specifics of this case, the prosecutor says now more than ever, it is important for the community to speak up if you suspect a child is being abused.
If you see something that you think is off with a child, this has nothing to do with this case in particular. This is just coming from someone that works in the child welfare field.
Y'all heard what they said. They used my something that I've been using for a while. Hashtag if you see something, say something. Right? Hashtag see something, say something. Let's keep going.
If you see something and it looks off, kids need you more than ever now. They don't have all those sets of eyes on them. So make a phone call, do something.
Guys, I gotta say, it's really sad that it doesn't seem like very many people cared about this little boy. We don't know where his dad is. His mom clearly didn't care. If his mom would have did something as simple as a background check that wouldn't have only costed her a few dollars, then she could have found out that this dude was on parole and a thug and probably not a smart choice to have around your son. I believe that she knew of multiple occasions that he was physical with her children, but she didn't care because she only had those children for the benefits that she could collect from them children. Hashtag babies for benefits. Hashtag stupid is and stupid thugs. Hashtag when you date thugs, you date death. All of those are AFC hashtags. It's sad that every single time we talk about these stories and people always want to make an excuse. Well, maybe it was this. Well, maybe it was that. This is pure neglect on the mom's part for putting her kid in the midst of a thug. She took her kid to the thug zoo and the thug lion mauled her child and killed her child. I think that the mom should be held equally responsible as her boyfriend. I think she should get just as much time, and I think that they should throw the key away and lock her up permanently. She should have not gotten a bail, and she should be held equally responsible for the death of this beautiful baby boy who would have stood a better chance in her other baby daddy's custody than her own. This baby boy, let me get his picture back up on the screen. This baby boy cannot speak for himself, nor can he defend himself against the tyranny of his caretakers, his mom and boyfriend. And he ended up suffering a horrible, horrible death. And it was a slow, painful death. He cried and he screamed for his mom, and his mom left him hanging. What an awful life. What an awful 72 months to be on this earth. Just to go through that. I said 72 months. Maybe that's not right. 12, 24. Yeah, I said that wrong. What's that? 12, 24, 32. I can't add. 32 months. 32 months on this earth. And that's what he was forced to deal with. That's the way he went out. It made him being on this earth so pointless to just go through that. And I hope that he and his soul can rest in peace. And I hope that his mom and boyfriend get the ultimate penalty under law. But the chances of that happening is not likely. So the next best thing is life in prison. I hope that they get that, and I hope they get a good, strong conviction. They deserve to pay for what they did to that baby boy. And what I want to say, oh, matter of fact, I did miss this. I got to tell y'all about this. For the people who don't believe in what I say about these stories, I'm going to show you how callous this mom is and the fact that she didn't care about her son at all. Almost forgot to show y'all this. Let me blow this up on the screen so y'all can see this. Almost forgot. We'll close out on this. I think that's big enough. I think y'all can see this. Let me clip off a little bit more off the top. Let's clip off about that much. Let's clip a little bit off the bottom. I'm going to try to make this as big as I possibly can. Almost forgot to show y'all this. The mom said, or excuse me, not the mom. Maybe that's not the mom. I don't know if that's the mom or not. Because the mom's name is Andrea Tipton, but somebody named Diamond Washington said, I wish everybody would mind their effing business. He loved Moochie. If y'all don't know the facts, don't speak on it. I don't know if that's the mom or if that's somebody else, and they are protecting the boyfriend. So Diamond Washington, maybe you need to go to jail too, because I don't like your mindset. And to me, that's the type of mindset that gets children killed. So I think that if you have kids, somebody should be investigating your life. Y'all make sure to take this and notate this for the record to know what she said and protecting this boyfriend who beat this child up. So take a note of that. I'm glad I didn't forget about that. So again, to this baby boy, let's back it up. Actually, let's go back to this one. I'm glad that he made it out alive, and to his baby brother, R.I.P. Young Prince. And we hope that this young man here on the left-hand side of that picture can grow up and become something great. This is your boy DJ Just Jay. We're the AFC, where we advocate for better mothers and for mothers to stop dating thugs and for mothers to stop being so damn selfish and start thinking about your kids. That baby boy deserves so much better. All right? From my heart to yours, I love you guys. Y'all have a great night. Thank you guys so much. Make sure you like, share, and subscribe. Come back and come check us out, and we'll bring you guys another story, okay? Y'all have a good night. Peace.